Hey, Jeff here again. Figured I'd do another video while I had everything set up. And because aside from the shopping that I did the other day at that store that my previous video was about, I did get some stuff in the mail on the same day that was some used things. And I thought, let's talk about these separately. So this was again on, it was somebody on Facebook, and they were selling, they had a whole bunch of albums listed for a bunch of different prices. And, to save on shipping, you buy whatever they say they can ship up to 4 for X amount of dollars. So I thought, well, I want to go at least 4 then, So I was looking through all the stuff, and they had quite a few things that I wanted, and they were all in pretty good condition. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on a couple. Now there's one that I wanted the most, and the price I thought was adequate, because I see bootleg versions of this for a lot more. But I picked up Black Sabbath, Born Again. Now, if you know about this album, you know about this album. This is that one album with Ian Gillan that you either love it or you hate it. It is an oddity, but it's Deep Purple and Black Sabbath together. How can you how can you not like it? It's got some interesting songs, it's got some, oddities, but it has been unofficially reissued, and it's pricey. And I almost bought one of those at the same place that I get my unofficial reissues. And then I saw this one, and it was, inexpensive, and I grabbed it. Now, I was a little concerned after I got it because it was listed as being in very good condition, but side 2, let me see if you can see this with the glare. I think you can see that. See that right there? There's like a, let me see. Look at that. There is like, see that V-looking shape? Look at that. I got that. I was a little concerned, but I felt it, and it doesn't feel like anything. So yeah, I threw it on real quick and listened to side 2. Don't hear it, doesn't make a sound. So I was relieved, because out of the bunch that I bought, this was the most expensive, but still, I mean, it wasn't, a little over $20. It wasn't a big deal, but I still was like, oh, that would stink. So yeah, glad to have that. It is, again, it's probably not my favorite Black Sabbath album, but it is a classic because of the Ian Gillan years, and there are some songs in there that I think are really cool. It's just overall, people either love it or hate it. I like it. The other one that I got that was probably the next expensive is UDO, Mean Machine. So this gives me, I have the first album and now the second album. So this gives me 2 UDO albums on vinyl. The first 2, I would have to say, I love all of his stuff. But when it comes to all of the early year stuff, all the way up to Time Bomb, which is like the first 4 or 5 albums, were just, to me, everything was stellar. After that, I still like all of his stuff. But after a while, you start, you get the familiarity. I just thought when he came out, this is Udo Dirkschneider, if you don't know. Udo Dirkschneider from Accept. Big Accept fan. I showed him in my last video. And he left and went solo. This is his second album after he left Accept. And I just thought, we are just getting some excellent music. He had an amazing band. His vocals were just strong as ever, and those first few albums just blew me away. And then after that, you kind of like, yeah, he is what he is, and I love all of his stuff. So, but the first few albums still nostalgically blow me away, and now I have the second one. So those were the 2 main ones, and then of course I wanted to shoot for 4. This one was a decent price, so I grabbed Rainbow's Final Vinyl. Just another one to add into the Rainbow collection. This is a live. It's an album that compiles a bunch of live tracks from a bunch of different shows, and if you follow the Rainbow Train, you know that they went through a lot of different singers, and they're mostly all represented here. You got Joe Lynn Turner, they just, Graham Bonnet, they have live tracks from a bunch of different shows in the 80s, and so you get a little bit of all of these, the band lineups of the time. It is a double record set. It's one of the original presses. I don't even know if this has ever been reissued or not. I'm not sure. So it was just, it was great, and for the price, it was great. And it is a double record set. It is a gatefold. Kind of looks like a, it's got it made. It looks like a notebook type thing, or like those old record sleeves. But yeah, look at that. You've got Graham Bonnet. You've got Joe Lynn Turner. It is just great stuff. All the different lineups, all the different stuff represented here up to the point when that came out. And then the last one was, there was actually a couple that I was throwing in. The other thing about this final vinyl is it's also got 3 studio tracks, which were not released in America up till the time. They were released as B-sides on the singles overseas. And the guy who was selling this also had the single that had those studio tracks, and I almost bought that until I realized, hey, I've already got them on here. So I was able to, I put that one to the side as my fourth album and bought this because it had the same tracks on it. I'm getting the studio and the live, and then I threw this in. I like the early Triumph years, and I only have a couple of their albums, and Never Surrender is one of the ones that over the years I really enjoyed. And so I thought, yeah, it was like $5. I need to throw this in there with the free shipping or the additional shipping. So, and again, it's in, it was in great condition. So yeah, just a little something to fill a hole with some Triumph. But that is it. 4 great albums there. And, I still got a bunch of stuff floating around in USPS, and I still got one that's lost in... I know we just got one finally that was lost in Washington, D.C., but guess what? There's another one that's been there for 5 days. Hoping that comes in any day now. That's all for now, though. Thanks for watching. Rock on, and rock hard.